All right, welcome back. I hope you had a good lunch. I hope you had a good time this morning exploring Scratch and the tools that are available within the Scratch platform, and maybe thinking about what that could do for you and your students inside your classroom. For this afternoon, our agenda is a 1 to 2:30 robot instruction / exploration time, and then a 2:30 break and a 3 o'clock Zoom to wrap up our day. Obviously, robots in a virtual format present some challenges. If we were together today, I would have the robots for you and kind of give you a chance to try each of them out. What I've done instead is prepared kind of a taste test for you. I have a list of robots and a bunch of resources for you to flip through and take a look at to see what might fit your classroom and what might be available to you in your building. And what I'd like you to do after you watch this video is take a look at those robots and resources, watch some videos, try out some tutorials, do some research, see if you can find lessons and resources that you think would be a good fit for your classroom and one of the robots. And think about the ways that these robots could really be incorporated into your classroom. What we're looking to do is kind of make the connection between that coding experience, block style coding, computational thinking, deductive reasoning, and a physical object, so that we take what is a virtual experience with the coding and it has a physical manifestation, so we can see the robot move the way that we told it to move. Your kind of task at the end then is to go to slides 30 to 31 and add a text box or add something to one of those slides where you can share what robot you think you might prefer and a few ideas for how to use that robot in your classroom. And your 2:30 break, and then we'll see you on Zoom at 3 o'clock to share and discuss our day and wrap up. So I'm just going to flip you through here my taste test of robots. So this is Ozobot, and here he is in person. I know Mrs. Smith showed you Ozobot yesterday and what it can do with markers, so my task today is to show you what else Ozobot can do. And it's actually a really powerful, very little robot. Just FYI, it runs about $100, so if you're looking at purchasing robots through a grant or out of your own pocket, the Ozobot Evo will run you about $100. So what you'll find when you go through these slides on Ozobot is that there's a whole lot more than color coding with markers. There's a website. You can code Ozobot with a tablet, with a laptop, write your own programs. Here's a video introduction. This is what the platform looks like online. It's called Ozoblockly. Then you can also find some pre-written programs that match lessons, so you can take a look at the opportunities that have already been posted by teachers. The example I posted for you here is practicing your times tables with Ozobot, which is a lesson I've used with 3rd and 4th grade in my building. And there's also a virtual Ozobot. You can program the Ozobot on the screen to complete a simple task, so you're welcome to see how much of those tutorials you can move through. The next robot I have for you is called Edison. Edison, I don't have one with me. He's about this big. It's like a brick. He's Lego compatible. You can see the little nubs on top that mean Legos would fit. These two Edisons have been turned into devices. So this is an Edison digger and an Edison rubber band launcher, where you take two Edisons and you build, and then you can program them to do a task or move an object. So here are some Edison resources. Edison runs you about $50, so it's a pretty economical robot. I would say grades 3 and up easily. It's programmable with barcodes at the beginning, so that's the easiest level. Then it's programmable with blocks in EdBlocks. It's also programmable in an interface that looks just like Scratch called EdScratch. And then you can take it one step further and use Python, the coding language, and it's called EdPy. So you're welcome to take a look at all of those resources. One side note with Edison, it does take, I think, either AA or AAA batteries. So if you're going to invest in an Edison, you almost also want to invest in rechargeable batteries, because you'll go through a lot of batteries. Lego Robotics, they have two kits. This is Lego We Do, and this is Lego EV3. Both are on the pricier end of the robot spectrum. Both can be programmed in almost any platform. Obviously, you can build with the Legos themselves. You can use pre-planned projects or build whatever, and then figure out how to make the motors and program them, and how to make the motors make your thing that you built move. So there are all kinds of videos here showing just that. My favorite is the last one. Lego EV3 can solve a Rubik's Cube. Love it. The Lego robots are $200 for the We Do set and about $450, $460 for the EV3. So Lego is definitely a pricier option as far as robots are concerned. The next one, Makey Makey, is actually not a robot. It's more of a kit. And what you get is a little board that you can use in wiring controllers and things. So you hook it up to your laptop, that provides the power, and then you build some circuits with including a ground, and you can build things that work. So I'll let the videos speak for themselves. Makey Makey is actually pretty cool. You can see here they created a banana piano, and on this list you'll find some pretty academic uses, so we're sure that we're incorporating content. We're not just making circuits, we're not just coding, we're also addressing some content. The circle piano video is super fun too, shows some projects that kids were able to make with Makey Makey. And Makey Makey runs about $50 if you're looking and you might be in the market for a Makey Makey. The next robots are Dash and Dot. So this is Dash with the wheels. This is Dot. She doesn't have any wheels, so she stays put for the most part. They are made by Wonder Workshop. Their older brother is Q. I guess it would be a newer brother, bigger brother. Anyway, Q is much more powerful than Dash and Dot. So they're all programmable with block style coding, but Q is also programmable in JavaScript. They have sensors, so they can sense noise, they can sense movement, they can move around objects. And Dash and Dot come with all kinds of accessories. You can see here there's a xylophone. On the package here is a ball launcher. There's a snow plow. So there are all sorts of activities you can do with Dash and Dot. They run, Q by itself is about $200. Dash and Dot as a set, about $280. They can be purchased separately though. So lots of resources available out there, and if you're interested, there is a Wonder Workshop Robotics League competition that they've been running every year for about the past 5 years. The idea is that groups of students work together to solve a challenge, to meet some kind of goal. You take pictures and videos, both of the code and of the robots themselves carrying out the task, and submit them to a competition. And there are prizes. Kids all over the world compete. It's actually a pretty cool option with Dash and Dot, so something to look into. Sphero looks like this. Sphero is maybe for slightly older students, maybe 5th and 6th grade and up rather than 3rd and 4th, unless you're going to provide a decent amount of support. The trick about Sphero is because it's perfectly round, you don't navigate left and right, forward and backwards, you navigate on a 360-degree circle. So students have to get used to the move at 90 degrees, move at 180 degrees, and that can be a bit of a challenge. Sphero also moves really fast. So if you happen to get a Sphero, another suggestion for success would be to set a speed limit, because otherwise students get it going in whatever direction really fast and it just ends up bouncing off the walls. So slow them down, and that will make the coding a little bit easier. Sphero is also waterproof, which opens a whole bunch of doors of possibilities of things you can do with Sphero. And Sphero runs $50 for a mini Sphero and about $150 for some of the other models, $100 to $150. So there are several different Spheros on the market right now. The other thing I love about Sphero is if you do some research into programs for 3D printing, you can find pre-written programs for 3D printers, and you can print ramps and rails and all kinds of things to use with Sphero. Even like a carriage that you put over top, and Sphero ends up being the power for this carriage device that moves around your space. So some pretty cool options with Sphero as well. So those are your robots. I'd like you to take a taste test and see what might fit your budget, your space, your assignment, your students, and your content. If you have time toward the end, this is actually just kind of an addition. I have 2 breakouts that go along with the coding idea. So Going Buggy and Zombie Outbreak. Going Buggy is probably the easier of the 2, but I use these in school. They address things like binary code, Morse code, all sorts of coding type concepts in the breakout format. So if you have time this afternoon, you're welcome to work on a breakout. And then these 4 are the slides where you will share your preference or maybe your idea of what robot is the best fit for you and maybe why. And then some very short blurbs about ways that you might use that robot in your classroom. It doesn't have to be a big, long written explanation. Then, of course, you'll meet us in Zoom at 3 o'clock. I'll be in Zoom available before that during your 1 to 2:30 work time if you need assistance of any kind. But I hope you enjoy your time exploring the robots. And if you have any questions, reach out by email or pop into Zoom. Otherwise, I will see you at 3 o'clock.